Let's talk about one of the most common and, let's be honest, frustrating habits of the modern mind: overthinking. I mean, you know that feeling, right? You're staring at your phone, you're typing, deleting, retyping, trying to figure out the hidden meaning behind a two-word text. It is absolutely exhausting. Or how about this one? You're lying in bed, it's the middle of the night, and your brain just decides to replay that one super awkward thing you said in a meeting like 3 years ago. If any of this is sounding familiar, trust me, you are so not alone. In fact, get this. A 2023 study from the Cleveland Clinic found that a staggering 73% of people between the ages of 25 and 35 say they're chronic overthinkers. So if you thought this was just, some weird personal quirk, it's not. It's basically a modern epidemic. But here's the thing that nobody ever tells you. Your brain isn't broken. Not at all. It's actually doing exactly what it was designed to do. The whole problem is, it's using this ancient survival software to try and navigate our crazy modern world. So look, before we can even think about fixing it, we have to understand why our brains get stuck in these crazy thought loops in the first place. See, overthinking isn't really about the text message or that conversation. At its absolute core, it's a desperate, and I mean desperate, attempt to gain control. Your brain has this secret belief that if it just analyzes a problem from every single possible angle, it can stop all the bad things from ever happening. And this just nails the problem perfectly. This analytical software was literally designed for our ancestors. For them, overanalyzing a rustling bush meant the difference between life and death. For us, that exact same software misfires and causes us to spiral into anxiety at 3 in the morning over a simple sounds good text message. All right, let's geek out on the neuroscience for a second. When your mind isn't focused on something specific, it switches into what scientists call the default mode network, or DMN. You can basically think of this as your brain's overthinking headquarters. It's the home base for all that mind wandering and second guessing. So, how much time are we actually spending there? Well, psychologists say our minds are just wandering for nearly half of our waking day. That's about 47% of the time. I mean, that is a huge window of opportunity for overthinking to just completely take over. But here's the reality check. A study from the National Science Foundation found that a massive 85% of what we anxiously worry about never even happens. Just think about that for a second. Almost all of the mental energy we spend spinning our wheels is for, well, absolutely nothing. Okay, so how do we break this cycle? Our very first tool is a super simple 2-minute technique to basically give your brain a hard reset. It's called the brain dump. The next time you feel yourself spiraling, you're going to set a timer for just 2 minutes. Grab your phone, a piece of paper, whatever, and just write down every single anxious thought, no matter how wild or ridiculous it seems. Don't filter, don't judge it, just get it all out. So why is this so effective? Well, you're taking all those thoughts that are just bouncing around inside your head and you're trapping them on the page. You're externalizing them, which immediately creates this little bit of psychological distance. And the science totally backs us up. A UCLA study showed that this simple act of just naming your thoughts and emotions can reduce activity in your amygdala, which is basically your brain's panic button, by up to 50%. It's like a circuit breaker for your anxiety. All right, let's move on to our second tool. And this one is a little bit counterintuitive. This trick actually uses your body to reset your mind. Yeah, we usually think our mind is in charge of our body, right? But it's actually a two-way street. Your physical posture and your state, they send constant signals to your brain. If you're hunched over, breathing shallow, your brain thinks danger. But if you're still and calm, your brain gets the message that, hey, everything's okay. So this brings us to an ancient yogic practice called Kaya Sthirayam. It literally translates to body steadiness. And the practice is incredibly simple. You just make a conscious decision to sit completely still, like a rock, for a really short period of time. Here's exactly how you do it. Just sit comfortably, keep your back straight, and for just 2 minutes, you commit to not moving a single muscle. Now, if you get an itch or an urge to fidget, you don't fight it, you just notice it, and then you let it pass without reacting. And this is where that ancient practice meets modern science. Just a few minutes of physical stillness is actually proven to lower your heart rate, calm your entire nervous system, reduce stress hormones, and, most importantly, it quiets that default mode network we talked about, that overthinking center in your brain. And finally, our third tool is maybe the most direct way to hit your body's built-in calm switch: your breath. We're going to use a specific science-backed technique called the 4-7-8 breathing method. It sounds technical, but it is so simple and unbelievably powerful. Okay, here's the pattern. You're going to inhale quietly through your nose for a count of 4. Then you'll hold that breath for a count of 7. And finally, you'll exhale slowly and completely through your mouth for a nice long count of 8. You just repeat that cycle for 2 minutes. So, why that specific ratio? Well, that really long exhale is the key. It activates your parasympathetic nervous system, which is your body's natural relaxation response. It is literally like flipping a switch, telling your body to move from that high alert fight or flight mode into the calm rest and digest state. So there you have it, 3 powerful, science-backed 2-minute resets for your mind, your body, and your breath. You don't need to find an hour for meditation. Sometimes all it takes is 2 minutes to interrupt that pattern and calm your mind. So the only question left is, which one are you going to try first?